Tupac Shakur's death was a shock to the world, but it came as no surprise to some, because some people knew the soft Tupac Shakur, the poetic Tupac Shakur, not this gangster guy, So when he made the transition of becoming this gangster and he would act out of character, they would sit back and say nothing good could come out of this. And that brings us to this interview that I seen with the art of dialogue. Someone we know as Daz Dillinger was on there, and he had an interview, and what he said was very shocking about Tupac. Now, this is somebody who was around Tupac, and what he expounded on was that Tupac was not supposed to be fighting other people's fights. He should have left it to security. And Tupac was wilding out that night of his unaliving. But that's just the surface of it. There's something that nobody's talking about. And in this interview, he just dropped a bomb. He said that the people that was around him was the ones who got Tupac unalived.
Did Pac ever ask y'all personally to diss Big and Bad Boy, or no?
I mean, we was all riding with Pac, whatever, whatever, say so, once we crew, we all crew, wrong or right. But then when motherfuckers start getting killed, and they didn't kill you, but your own people killed you, advise you and all that, so you really got to start thinking what's really going on around you, you know what I'm saying?
What she mean by his own people killed him?
I mean, niggas that you hang around. Hanging around death row, you think you the top gangbanger, you socking niggas in the mouth and doing all that crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't even supposed to be doing all that. You know what I'm saying? Especially another nigga coming to you telling you, hey, yo, Big Mighty just slapped the shit out of you. You know what I mean? And then you go over there when security supposed to be going, this ain't even your fight. But didn't know the nigga that you hit is a stone cold killer. You know what I mean? And that's why I told you, don't let the gangbanging get between us. Coming from my end or anybody else's end. It's easy to get sucked up in this shit by ego. He put his trust into too many people, you know what I'm saying? For validation, Big nigga killed 100 niggas, that's my homie. You know what I mean? So you put your trust in a lot of people, and you should put trust in yourself.
So it seems like what Daz was implying is that Tupac was fighting a fight that wasn't even his, and the people that was around him, the reason why he said that was because they were supposed to protect Tupac. They were supposed to pull Tupac to the side and let him know, look, you need to stay in a rapper's place. This not your place to be doing street business. You need to come in here, watch the fight, and go back home. But that's not what Tupac was trying to do. Tupac was trying to live up to what he was rapping about, rather than just being a rapper. Then the interviewer began to ask him, what are some things that you think Tupac could have did to prevent being unalived or even being around this situation? And Daz, he broke it all down for us, man. Check it out.
Looking back at that night, how do you think they could have been avoided? Pac getting shot?
Not going to Vegas. He didn't have no reason to go to Vegas. Should want him to go to Vegas. We would stay at home doing music like we was doing, But if he wouldn't have went to Vegas, he'd be right here. Remember, he was MOB. You know what I'm saying? So he felt like, I gotta represent and at least show these niggas that's killing these big buff niggas and gangbangers and shit. I'm with it. You know what I mean?
Did you see Pac and Suge argue at any point?
Nah, in the beginning it really wasn't that, but I heard when the hotel after Snoop did that and all this, a lot of people said they got into it, and then my uncle said they got into it too. So you know, but I never seen them Suge punk Tupac or none of that type of shit. Like that on that Miss LA movie when Suge was punking Tupac on there, I ain't never seen that. Yeah, she made that shit up.
Was she over Death Row at one point?
She was over Death Row. That's who signed that paperwork there on my thing. But she wasn't even married to shit. Now he famboozled her, fugazi her, thinking that he married her. As soon as he got out of jail, kicked her to the side. Cold motherfucker.
Now, to be fair and to be honest, I can't sit up here and say Tupac was a punk or nothing like that, because we all know Tupac was a revolutionary ever since he was a young kid. This is how he was brought up. So I don't think that got in the way of him standing up for himself. You know, some people look at Tupac as, yeah, he's the guy that was in school. He did poetry. He always had his way with the ladies and all of that. And they feel as though like that would stop him from standing up for himself. Well, really, I believe that that's embedded in him to stand up for himself. But that night he was unalive, I just feel like he was doing way too much. I feel like he should have really left that up to security. He shouldn't have got involved with that, because the person that he got at and participated, that we seen on the film, that guy was Orlando. He wasn't nothing to be played with, man. That was somebody that was really in the streets. And the word is that that's what came back to haunt him. That's what came back to bite him, you know? But I do feel like that Pac should have just left that up to security. But with all the conspiracy theories out there, you know, there's another side of the token. You got some people really think that Suge Knight was involved with Pac's unaliving. So Art of Dialogue then began to ask Daz about Pac's relationship with Death Row. As we all seen in the movie, Pac was trying to start his own thing, but Suge Knight came and say, look, you can just do a Death Row East. So he went on to ask Daz, do you think Pac was trying to leave Death Row? And check out what Daz had to say, y'all.
Do you think Pac was leaving Death Row?
I mean, shit, he had 3 album deal. He dropped 2 already, was working on the next one, and he said he was going to do his thing with Quincy Jones, and that I want to come, you know? So, you know, I mean, I was all with it, you know? And then next thing I know, Suge Knight stepped back in the picture, and now I hear Death Row East. So, you know, I just, you know, I produced for Tupac, you know what I'm saying? Anything he wanted, I was giving it to him, music-wise.
I never heard you say that before, man. I never heard that story. So Pac, he wanted you to come with him?
Yeah, because he allowed me and Corrupt to be a part of the Outlaws. He gave Corrupt the name Young Gotti, and he told me, what's your name going to be? I told him my name going to be Daz Dillinger. I'm a thief, I rob. And so, you know, we was the only 2 outside of the Outlaws to be in the Outlaws. And, you know, whatever he wanted from me as a production, I gave it to him. I did a lot of songs that you might not never ever hear, that I know of. And that's why I'm finna go to court and tell him, I need copies and I need information on these songs and why they not out. Yeah, I just holding them. You know what I'm saying?
Now, this is a first. I never heard this before. I knew about Tupac trying to start the Death Row East label, but I had no idea that he was bringing Daz Dillinger and Corrupt along with them. See, what most people don't know is that Tupac was Suge Knight's main guy. And without him, I don't think he was going to be running Death Row the way he wanted to. But he also had Snoop, but nobody was doing it like Tupac was doing it. I mean, he stayed in the studio for hours on end and days. So I guess he felt as though he would have been better off on himself, just like we see a lot of people do. It's the business side that an artist later on start to discover, because at first you all hype like, yo, I'm a rapper, I'm getting some money. But then when you start to see that you could be getting a whole lot of money and doing less work, then you want to start moving on your own and start being a boss. But I don't think Suge Knight was having that, because he made him do a Death Row East, as we seen in the movie. But Daz went on to talk about how he produced for Tupac, and I did know that, because there was a situation with Cameron and Suge Knight. Suge Knight tried to approach Cameron and say, oh, who told you to use that beat? You know, it's the same beat that Tupac did. I won't deny it, I'm a straight rider, you don't want to. Cameron had that beat as well, and he said Daz gave it to him. So I'm assuming that that's the same beat that, you know, Daz did. But Daz went on to say, like, he produced a lot for Tupac, and there's a lot of songs that we haven't heard yet. So that's why he's in court trying to get those out, you know. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Could Tupac's unaliving been prevented just by simply not getting involved and putting hands and feet on Orlando? But look how it ends. Nobody's here now, either party, including Suge Knight. They all either locked up or dead, just like the old school guys used to tell us growing up. This life has no end to it. So y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Link gonna be in the description. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hype this video. Big Kish signing out. Gone, y'all.